All right. Yeah, let's log into all of this. We'll start a new mode. So how do we do the new mode? Is it not out yet? Tournament draft, ARAM, draft pick, blind pick, training, practice, normal, PvP. Is the new mode not available? I thought the whole idea was that you could opt into it, but I guess I don't know for sure. Ranked mode, it's not in here. I don't know what all these new buttons are. Oh, challenger leaderboard. New ways to display your information. Very cool, fine, whatever. Then normal mode, I just see PvP, ARAM, co-op. If I click on PvP, I don't have options here. I don't know when, like, where is this mode that I'm supposed to be trying out? Guild members, settings, no. This is for your missions, no. None of that is useful. Leaderboard. Loadout for different characters. All these people in the lobby, offers, new offers. No idea. So we'll go back to the lobby here, and I guess we'll go into the PvP. Oops. If I try to switch mode, I don't have any other options, so we'll stick with PvP. There are some changes that have been made to a series of items. We have updated some builds. We're going to try a game here with some new builds. Then we're going to go over the patch notes. Then we're going to just keep trying new builds all day today. Jungle position. Oh, they've updated that screen. Okay, that's very cool. So let's see what everybody wants to build here. Aurelia, so we've got a Shen in the top lane, of course. So who do we want to try out first? I've got new builds for Graves and Fiora and Lee Sin and Darius. Let's go with Graves. So this is the new build that I put down for him. I think now that the what's it called? Solari Chargeblade doesn't give you 50% after using an ability. I'm trying something different. So we'll see how this ends up working. And they've added so much damage onto the, what is that other thing called? Stormrazer, that I'm wondering if an energized Graves might not work. So we're gonna come in here and find out. Especially now that he has a faster jungle clear. We've got another Shen in there. Ashe, Senna, and Kennen in. Shen doesn't stun, but he can stop your attacks. Kennen and Senna and Ashe all stunned, so I still think we're going to probably go for our blue boots. Now we're going to be changing up the order of things, I suppose, and we're going to go for our first ability, since it now does 150% damage against monsties.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah. I'm gonna level up that baby first. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna try and do here. See if this increases our clear speed.
Don't die yet. That was only a warning shot.
Yeah, Graves. Clear it, brother. And one more shot. He's down. Excellent.
What are you playing?
Okay, we can clear out those guys pretty quickly, can't we? Great. And we take him down.
Die yet.
Don't know how much. Okay, so that was a whole minute to clear those guys. We'll come up over here. Now, if this is going to do extra damage to minions and monsties, then we're going to be all the happy for it.
Allies
Shen to Shen. We're gonna go straight out over here.
On my way.
Alright, we'll let them get the kill. That's perfectly fine by me. And we'll just run on down. We use our flash, so we don't have that left. Get the double kill in there. I'll take it. It's basically exactly what we were going for anyway. Alright, I'm going to have to work on getting the shots off on this guy in the river here. Okay, so he goes down. Question is... There he goes. There's the Master Yi. We don't have... Here it is. Here it is. Oh, no, no, no. There she comes. Okay, so we clear the enemy, but then we get clogged. That's all right. I am noticing that we do clear a little bit faster through the jungle, which is good. We're going to come around and score on our red buff here. And then call it a dia. Now I wonder if it's still not maybe smarter than to start with your first ability. Probably still clears faster, even though they increase the damage. To start with your third ability, I meant, sorry. Because it actually will have faster cooldown, plus your attacks actually do more damage. I think that's probably more helpful. Now we got Kennen in here, rotating in. They've got the vision out this way. We're going to come on down here, see what's up with Senna and the crew. Nothing's up with Senna and the crew. And can we get a group here? We've got a good little tankety tank down there with Dr. Mundo. Now they still, yeah, everything's still spawned at 4 minutes, so this definitely isn't the new mode that they've been talking about. I'm gonna move on over this way. Attack it. Oh, let's just go and get him though. Can we?
Always trouble. Double kill. Enemy slain. Ally slain.
Ah, alright, alright. But that could be another one. We open that one up. Okay, so Black Cleaver is belong to us. We don't follow through up to Shen, which is probably a mistake, but we don't, so there. I think we are going to go, so Shen does magic damage, physical damage. We were going to go with the blue boots, so we'll keep on with the blue boots. We don't have the Rift Herald, but that's perfectly fine. Master Yi grabs that guy. The farm in the jungle per Graves rework is out. No soup for them. But we'll get some vision over the wall.
I got no time for games.
And we're going to come in here. And just clear out little red buffer. Okay, great. Now, scooting right along.
What are you playing at?
See if we can come in here and make a play. She's gonna go down. Master Yeebs.
Think I'm bluffing.
Let's see. Mundo comes up into the jungla.
Feeling lucky.
Ashe is not helping out the Master Yi. So we'll come down on the bottom with the Ashe. And just do a little turret damage, huh? Question is, can we take this turret before they take our turret? I don't know. Oh, the answer is a big negatory. But we try. But we try. And now we're gonna lose 2 turrets. Because none of us stayed there to actually pay attention to it. Alright. Well, that was sloppy and mistakety-stakety, but what can you do? Mercury's Treads. Now, we're building out to the Stormrazer. And then we're going to be building out to the Rapid Fire Cannon. I know that increased attack speed isn't the super duper on him. But we're going to see if maybe it makes a little bit of a difference here with the Stormrazer build since they increase the damage from Stormrazer.
On my way.
Whoops, that was dumb.
On my way.
Yeah, I'm going to come down this way.
On my way.
We've got another 25 seconds on the Rift Herald. Kennon's coming down. Whoop, hello, hello. Why will I not shoot? Why would it not fire off?
Enemy killing spree.
Okay. So Master Yi basically got buffed because they changed the way that his Alpha Strike ability worked to make it more effective against single targets, which is bad for everybody else. But let's group up in here and see what's going on. Alright, we lose that. Oh, right, that doesn't go over walls. And we didn't use our smite, even though I was pretty sure I clicked on it. Not sure what's going on with that.
Enemy slain.
Alright, so we die, but we trade for 3 kills. Shen is there to do the Rift Herald. He should just be on it. No, Shen, attack the Rift Herald, dude. You could have started it already. It could be done by now. What is he doing?
Attack the Rift Herald.
Thank you. Goodness gracious, bruh. Okay, we can. All right, no vision through there. Here comes Ashe. All right, there goes another kill on the Ashe. The Ashe hole. And we can get our Stormrazer as we try out a new build here. Then change for boots to go for Proto Belt. So we can get the extra dash in there. And then build back out again. Now we're going for Rapid Fire Cannon now. I don't know if that's smart. What's up, Will? How are we doing? Have you looked at all of the notes of the new jams, sir? We're going to be going over those after this game is complete. Yesh. Take this. Now we shouldn't need the Rift Herald for this.
Enemy turret destroyed.
Great.
That was a warning.
Now Shen, I did spend some time playing with Shen earlier today. Shen can actually be pretty weak when he's by himself. This middle turret, we definitely want to push this in real fast. Okay, great. Here's a Kennen and a Shen. Whoa, whoa. Okay, we saw that one coming down. Kennen gets the shutdown on me. Let's see, crit rate, attack speed, or attack steal bonus damage. We'll take the increased movement. I need a total of 1,000 for the rapid fire cannon. Will, the new mode, I haven't been able to get into. I don't see where you can play it. I don't think it's live yet. They had mentioned that it was an optional thing that you would have to like option into, but I don't see it anywhere. So this is currently not the new mode.
Got any bright ideas?
Let's group up over here.
Engage on my way.
See if we can get the team there fast enough. Kennen's gonna come down on that. You better believe.
On my way.
Targets.
Attack the dragon.
Okay, so we get the vision on that guy really quickly. Great. Okay, get a little of this in there. Okay, Kennen comes in, deals some more damage. The Rift Herald goes out because I didn't have a better place to put it. Should have thrown it in the middle, but I didn't. Master Yi comes in with a straight up crit damage build. He's dealing tons and tons of damage. Will, they did not forget about Aurelian Soul. He has not needed a rework, apparently. Otherwise, they would do it. So if you go to wildstats.gg, the website, you can actually see on that website how things are going. And you can see there whether or not champions need reworks based on how often they are picked and what their win rates are. Alrighty.
Attack Baron.
Yes, we're going to Baron.
On my way.
I got no time for games.
Okay, I'm 5 and 4 and 7. Master Yi is popping off in a big way for the enemy team here. We probably should pick Bloodthirster earlier in the build, I'm realizing. Because Graves does so much burst damage. Okay, do a little of this. Dodge out of the way. We take the Baron buff, but then we have to retreat using all of our retreaty abilities. Take this extra here, and I think we're going to have to build out to Bloodthirster next. I need some more sustain on this build. So I think still the Bloodthirster and Black Cleaver is probably the way to go, and then add on attack damage later. Can we? Whoa, let's not get totally shut down here. Okay, he goes down. We get a little stun action going on. Alright, Kennen drops me. Kennen drops me. Graves, admittedly, not our best champion, that's for sure. So we really were trying Graves just to see how that changed to his first ability, changes his jungle clear. The changes to the single change they made to Master Yi has clearly made him so strong. His ability to go in against a single champion was just basically super, super buffed. Able to get under turrets. Alright, so now, Aurelia comes home, she takes him out. This is actually a relatively close game. And now we need to group up on this dragon.
On my way.
Even though it's going to be hard. The enemy team is mostly up and we are mostly down. So we're going to run over here to the Elder Cloud. The only person gone on their team is Master Yi. They are nowhere to be seen, which to me means they're probably right there. Okay, we use basically everything at our disposal there. Enemy team coming in. And that gives them enough time to get Master Yi up and running again. We've taken a lot of damage here. Now, Master Yi can probably kill our entire team, so we do need to be a little bit careful about that. Here he comes. Just don't let it, don't let it, don't let it. Yes, come on, get it. Great. Great, get that shut down there. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm gonna go here. I'm going. Relax, I'm going. You guys just keep attacking that. I got this. Okay, Dr. Mundo pushes in on that turret. But it's looking like it's gonna be hard fought one. Man, it's a hot one. Ooh, I'm pretty sure we could have gotten a little bit of purchase there. Aurelia's gonna push in that top lane. We need to keep our eyes open on this one. Oh man, now we're cooking with Smash. And what a scaling champ is Graves. Yeah, we come back. We can shut down the enemy team. Master Yi's probably going at Baron right now by himself. Oh, not completely by himself. Okay. And now if we can get Kennen down. There's our final build item. We do need to keep the vision up on the Banash here. There they are, in on the Nasher.
Got any bright ideas?
Getting out from underneath the Nasher. Mundo comes in. And he's on the run. Ooh, he's on the run. He's on the dead.
You are unstoppable. Ace.
Now the problem is we've got Winions. We've got Winions in the base. Okay. I mean, Graves' delete potential in the end of the game is just crazy. Alright, we take that out. And we have to dash all the way away. Yeah, our problem is going to be coming back out from under this. We just need to get Master Yi's down. We've got to get at least one of these inhibitor turrets down. But I'm pretty sure that the whole team plus Master Yi on me is going to be a bad news for me kind of thing. Yes. All right, there we go. There we go. There it is. Oh, just take the turret, boys and girls. Take the turret. Okay, so that worked. Master Yi got super powerful. Unfortunately, couldn't really rely on the rest of his team to make it a helperton. So now we are going to go through and see what's going on with all these patch notes. We're going to read through these, see if we can really kind of understand what's going on here. In the meantime, I'm going to switch around some things on this Graves build. Most importantly, I'm going to move my, yeah, that damage at the end was no joke. Graves scaling is insane. So before I forget, I'm going to come in here to Graves, and we're going to move some of these things around. Mostly, I'm just going to swap this around like this. I think that if we do something a little bit like this, right? Black Cleaver, the way that they enhance the Stormrazer is amazing, especially with that little tiny slow effect that it will add on to things. The extra 40 damage, I think, really does make a difference. The little bit of attack speed is nice for your double shoot plus your reload speed, plus it gives you critical strike, and then you can go straight into Bloodthirster. I think this will help us out a lot more. The other way to do it would be something like this, where we go Black Cleaver into Bloodthirster from the beginning. I just think that that cooldown, that ability haste, especially since you're going to want to use your first ability more now that it can help you clear the jungle faster, is going to be really, really nice. So maybe I swap it around like this and see how it works for our next game. But before we do that, we're going to come up here into the news section. We've got some patch notes to go over, guys. Look at how they did this. Isn't this neat, the way that they did this? So I'm sure that you guys have watched all the videos, so we are going to gloss over a lot of the parts of these patch notes that I would argue are, who cares? Like, for example, Donuts, Dragons, and Divine Items. Skip it. New Champions. Karma is out and Shen is out. Congratulations. I'm not going to spend the time reading through those because they don't really affect us right now until you actually see the way that they play. But what I will say is Karma is a new support champion. Shen is a new Baron lane champion. Maybe jungle, although I've tried him already in the jungle this morning and his jungle clear is slow. But still, his impact in team fights is probably going to be pretty extraordinary. So seeing him in the Baron lane is going to be interesting because he really, really will require that you be able to rotate pretty well in order to get the most out of him. News tab, Ranked Season 5 is coming. They're adding things into the Ranked store. Glorious Crimson Evelyn and the Glorious Jinx. They're adding these new things so you can purchase, what are they called? The Weapon Augment. So we'll go ahead and we'll look back at the Ranked store to see what all of that means, but keep that in mind in a second. Wild Pass is for Senna if you're looking for that skin. New modes. Okay. This is the first thing. This is just our first version of Elemental Rift, and what you play in this game mode might be very different from what comes in patch 3.2. So this is what I don't really understand. Wild Rift is going Elemental. You'll be able to test and play our first version of Elemental Rift in this limited game mode, but I can't find it in the game right now. So I'm not sure what that's all about. There's going to be 3 dragons, Mountain, Infernal, and Ocean. They're getting rid of the Cloud Dragon, which will change the terrain in the map and grant powerful buffs. On the death of the second dragon, the map will permanently change and open new and unique gameplay opportunities for your team. So this is the way they change. The Mountain Rift forges new terrain in the jungle, along with a defensive wall in front of the dragon pit. The Infernal Rift burns away terrain from the jungle and opens up new pathways to get through it. And the Ocean Rift spawns more brushes. So if you are playing with, say, Rengar, then you are going to go hardcore after the Ocean Rift, but you're probably going to shy away from the Infernal Rift because it gives you fewer places to sneak from. They're also changing what each dragon does. Not really changing it, but sort of making it more obvious what each dragon does. So the Mountain Dragon, killing that increases your armor and magic resist. And if you get the Mountain Soul, then you'll grant a shield after not taking damage from a short while. So basically, you kill the Mountain Dragon by itself, then you get your armor and magic resist. But once you've killed 2 dragons or 3 dragons or however it works now, the Elder Dragon Mountain Soul thing grants you a shield after not taking damage for a short while. The Infernal Dragon gives your team a bonus to attack damage and ability power. So the Infernal Dragon is going to be the one that people continue to fight after the most. And it also creates explosions around your abilities and attacks if you get the Infernal Soul. So this is going to help you clear minion waves a lot faster. It's going to be dealing a lot more AoE. It's basically probably going to be super overpowered. The Ocean Dragon, getting the Ocean Dragon will restore your health over time. And if you get the soul, it will restore more health when dealing damage to enemies. So basically, if you get the Ocean Dragon by itself, it'll give you a heal over time effect. And if you get the Ocean Soul, it gives you a life leech effect. They've removed down the Elder Dragon. Skins we don't really care about. Accessories we don't really care about. There's going to be more events. That's great. Champion changes. Let's go through it. Okay. Apparently Ashe has been too strong. So they are decreasing the AD ratio on her volley. Her volley is the ability that goes and shoots all of the multiple arrows out in a fan. It is mostly useful for its slow effect. And because Ashe is a scaling champ anyway, this will just make it scale so that that ability does a little bit less damage. But it isn't really the ability that I think really... It's not the damage on that ability that makes Ashe scale really well. It's the fact that that ability has a slow effect on it. And then once she's scaled into all of her items with her multi-attacks, that's what makes her really, really powerful. So I don't think this is going to change much. Blitzcrank is getting basically a rework. They're making him a little less tanky, but they're making him more of a giant all-in champion. So he's losing a little bit of armor, and he's losing armor per level. Okay. And then they're changing his overdrive ability so that now it has 2 casts. On the first cast, you gain movement speed. And then if you tap it again, you get a bigger burst of movement speed. But when it ends, you are effectively rooted. You are not technically rooted because there are things in the game that proc on root effects. And so that's why they do 99% instead of 100%. But basically, it gives his overdrive ability, like, if you miss with your hook, you can hit your overdrive ability so that what you used to do is you'd get this burst of movement speed. Now you can get a burst of movement speed, and if you tap it again, you can get an extra burst of movement speed to really get you into the enemy team. But you pay for that because after a couple seconds, you're locked in place. So, interesting to see how this works. I'm not a big fan of Blitzcrank in general. I don't play him at all. And I'm not really excited when I see him on my team, but for really good Blitzcrank people out there, let me know if this makes a difference at all. Fiora. Fiora has been doing a little bit too much damage, they think, so they're decreasing the damage of her lunge ability, which I think is going to be functionally irrelevant. Galio, so this is an interesting one. Galio, they're lowering the base damage of his hero's entrance, but they're upping the AP scaling ratio, which means he's effectively going to be weaker in the early game, but stronger in the late game, as long as you build enough AP to make up for the base damage nerf. So tank Galio will Tank Galio is basically just getting nerfed in terms of the amount of damage that he does with his hero's entrance. But if you're playing Tank Galio, you're not really worried about the damage. So this really only affects AP people. And basically what it means is at the beginning of the game, you're going to be a little bit less dominant. And later in the game, you'll be more dominant. Garen. Garen is basically getting nerfed. His judgment damage is going down in all ways, both the base damage of the hit and the total damage that the total damage that he does on all 4 ticks, all of it's going down. Additionally, his Demacian Justice base damage is going down. His non-primary target damage, so it does like some splash damage, that's all going down. The bonus AD ratio of the target's missing health is actually going up. I'm not really sure why they're making this particular change. The non-primary target damage bonus AD ratio is going up. So basically, they are nerfing Tank Garen and giving a slight buff to AD Garen. They're trying to encourage people to build him more as a fighter and less as a tank. But I kind of felt like people were already doing that. So I'm not really sure of the effect of this one either. Graves, end of the line, now deals 150% damage against monsters. So this is a major buff. However, I think the biggest effect to Graves is going to be the change to Solari Chargeblade, which effectively got nerfed. But we'll look at that in a second. I think Solari Chargeblade, the changes to Solari Chargeblade are going to take a second for people to figure out how to employ, because I still think like there's a world for that item. It's just not the one it used to be. Aurelia. So Aurelia's base attack speed gains from doing subsequent attacks and things at the beginning of the game is going down, but in the late game, it's going up. So people who were struggling to make Aurelia good are going to be struggling even more, because now you don't have that greater increase to your attack speed early on in the game, which is the most important part of the game to scale with. Teemo with Hullbreaker. Actually, Boses, that could actually be a real thing. We'll get to that in a second. Blade Surge, the cooldown is coming down. So this is going to be very, very interesting. Basically, what they're saying is Aurelia is too hard to play. So they want to make her easier to play, but they want to make sure that that doesn't come at the expense of the people who are already doing really well in allowing them to completely take over games right from the beginning. So Blade Surge's cooldown is coming down, so that if you miss target or you use it when you weren't supposed to so that you can't get the reset on it because your target's not marked, then you don't have to wait quite so long in order to do it again. And if you have ability haste on Aurelia, this will come down to basically a 4 to 5 second reset to like a 3 to 4 second reset, which is absolutely bonkers at the end. So people who are really, really good at Aurelia are just going to start taking over all of the games. They're just going to run the games. But people who kind of sucked with Aurelia, I don't think this is going to really help them very much, if I'm being completely honest. Xin. Xin is getting a base health nerf because he's getting a physical damage increase on the last shot. So Xin packs, 4 shots, I think? And the last shot of his clip does extra damage. Now, it used to just deal an extra 15% damage. Now, it's going to deal 15% extra damage plus 1% extra damage per level you are. So in the end game, instead of this final shot doing an extra 15% damage, it's going to do an extra 25% damage. Essentially, Xin is going to start doing what he already does, but he's just going to be a bit more effective at it. So the real experts at Xin are really, really good at playing around the final shot in your clip. So they can make sure that the first 3 shots go wherever they need to go, but that 4th one really targets a low health enemy so that they can fire it off. Now that 4th shot is just a built-in execute in your kit, or at least they're trying to make it that way. So the idea being that if you are low health fighting against a Jhin, you're going to have to really think about it before you go in. Because Jhin is going to be a little bit squishier. He's losing 40 health. But if you misjudge that, he's just going to wreck you. Master Yi. I think this is a huge, huge buff for Master Yi. Now, Master Yi has already had some problems because people learn to play into him at the higher elos, but the lower elos, he just goes nuts. And this is going to help him basically continue to stomp low elos because it's effectively making his Alpha Strike do more stuff. It just works better now. So, Master Yi, when you use Alpha Strike, it targets up to 4 things. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it deals damage to all of them. Now, so basically what it's saying is Master Yi becomes untargetable and strikes up to 4 enemies near his target, dealing physical damage to all enemies hit by the 4 strikes. It was already like that. They might be changing the AD ratio on it a little bit, but mechanically, that's already what it did. They're adding a new effect onto it. If there are no other targets, so if your target is alone, this ability can strike the same enemy unit repeatedly, dealing 25% damage with each subsequent strike. But that means it'll apply on hit effects. So those people who are doing Blade of the Rune King Yi, this makes it even more effective because you can Alpha Strike onto a target. It will hit them 4 times while you are untargetable. And even though each subsequent strike does 25% of the initial damage, the first strike still hits for 100%. So now this Alpha Strike, if used on a single target, where it used to just hit once because it didn't have anything to bounce between, will now do 175% damage to your target. Right? Unless I'm reading that wrong. And if I'm reading that wrong, somebody please correct me. Attacks reduce the cooldown by 1 second. They already did. Deals bonus damage to minions and monsters. That I don't know if that's new. And the ability can also crit, dealing 60% bonus damage. Crit Yi stopped being a thing a long time ago because it's a little bit too squishy. Basically, you can Alpha Strike into an enemy team, but if they manage to stasis or just sort of jump out of the way, or just wait until your Alpha Strike, just stay out of it until they see you use it, then people can crush you because you're super, super squishy if you go full crit Yi. Also, people were building Randuin's Omen a lot, but I don't know if that's still the case because there have been a lot more AP matchups built in. So we might go into our game and sort of create a build for Master Yi to see if this actually is going to really, really affect us. But I think that this is a massive buff to Master Yi. It effectively makes his first skill useful no matter the situation, not just in team fights. Nami, the bonus movement speed that she grants by Surging Tides is coming a little bit down. I've said a lot, you have seen me say a lot that I think move speed is probably the most important single stat in Wild Rift. Being able to be where you need to be is, I mean, you can't deal any damage if you're not in the fight, right? So get into the fight. So they're just making her, she's been overperforming a little bit, so they're slowing down her buff. Riven, they're increasing her shield by half a second. I don't honestly think that's going to make much of a difference, to be completely honest. She uses her shield as an engage, and then she gets hit, and it goes away almost immediately anyway, so I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. Xin Zhao is the same, basically the same at the beginning, but doing more damage in the later game, although the damage increase that they're giving is not that much, especially not when Wind becomes Lightning. The cooldown on 3 Talon Strike and the base damage increase there means that you'll probably be able to just use it on repeat in team fights, just smash the button over and over and over and over and over again. I was a fan of Xin Zhao for a very long time. Then I kind of fell out with him. I don't know if this is going to put me back in with him, but we'll find out. Yasuo. So this is going to be, I think, a pretty big buff for Yasuo. Basically, he shoots off his whirlwind. It goes a certain speed to a certain distance. They're increasing the speed and the distance that it travels. Basically, they're making it easier for him to hit with his whirlwind. So, Yasuo players that were already really good are going to be really obnoxious in your games. They're going to hit you with the whirlwind from a lot further away. It will help him match up into ranged matches in the mid lane and Baron lanes, but I don't think he had a problem with that. He's got a wind wall. That's the point. So I'm not really sure why they're doing this. I guess Yasuo was underperforming. And most people tend to think he's an all or nothing champ anyway. He either takes over your game or he totally sucks. So this is going to help him take over your games. Zed basically does too much burst damage, so they're just decreasing it by really good Zed players could stack shadows on top of one another right next to you, so that then when they used an ability, it would just absolutely spank you. And now what they're saying is, we really don't like that, so we're going to reduce that damage. So he will be able to stack shadows the same way he was before. They'll just deal a little bit less damage. I still think for skilled Zed players, this isn't going to matter much, but we'll see. Not really life phaser. Zed in Wild Rift is mostly a mid laner. Ziggs. So Ziggs can put down this minefield that lasts forever on the screen, and they're just reducing the amount of time that those mines last, which I think is probably a good change. Ziggs in team fights, he usually throws them just on top of the enemy team, so it doesn't really matter. If he throws them down waiting for minion waves to crash into them, then the minion waves are going to crash into them. It doesn't really matter. It's when he uses the explosive minefield as a zoning tool that it's kind of a big deal, because lasting for 10 seconds is a very, very long time, especially since not only do they do damage, but they also slow you. And so it makes it so that you have this zoning tool that keeps you out of the zone, and then even if you move through the zone, you still move so damn slow. So it's just sort of decreasing the duration that he can set down these mines where they don't do anything but just prevent movement into a space. I don't know if it's going to make that big of a difference, because I don't know how often I deal with a minefield that's been on the ground for 8 or 9 or 10 seconds. So we'll see. But it is definitely a little bit of a nerf. I don't think it's going to make people any less likely to pick the champion. They'll just change slightly the way that they play him. Basically, they think Black Cleaver is a little bit too powerful, so they're removing some of the ability haste on it. Fine. Death's Dance, they're completely changing. This one, everybody that I have seen talk about this seems to really, really be struggling with what it does. And if you actually look at it in game, it's easier to understand. Basically, they're changing it from... So the easy part to understand is they're changing it from giving you health to giving you armor. Great. So now you get armor, attack damage, and ability haste instead of health, attack damage, and ability haste. Cool. Great. No one really has a problem with that. No one even really seems to care about that. They are getting rid of Dance and Cauterize, so it no longer provides you with physical vamp, and it no longer takes 30% of the damage that you receive and changes it into a bleed effect over 3 seconds. That's all gone. Here's what it does. It stores a percentage of the damage that you take, and then it dishes out that damage to you as true damage over 3 seconds. So it effectively does the exact same thing that Cauterize used to do. Okay? The big change here is that if you kill a champion while you have stored damage, it will heal you for a percentage of your maximum health over 2 seconds. And this actually raises an issue because I've looked at the item in game, as I'm sure several of you have. This says, champion takedowns remove ignore pain's remaining stored damage and heal you for 15% of your maximum health over 2 seconds. However, in the game, the item says it heals you for 2% of your maximum health over 2 seconds, which makes it functionally useless. Basically, depending on whether or not the tooltip in the game is correct or this sentence is correct, really changes the usefulness of this item. Because the tooltip in game makes this item trash. But this actually can make the item very, very useful, especially for people like Darius, who get resets on their executes. So you can run in and you can, with someone like Darius, you can run into a battle, you can start soaking up damage from the enemy team, and then you execute a champion. If you miss that execute, then that stored damage is coming in as true damage to you. But if you hit that execute, then you get a massive heal. So it's a big trade-off item. It's a big sort of it's a big sort of cost reward item, as Scoundrel likes to say on his videos. And that's really, really the difference here. If you feel like you can execute champions, this is an item that is worth taking because it will help you execute champions over and over and over, because it'll keep healing you over and over and over again by getting those executes. However, it only works on physical damage. It doesn't store AP damage. So keep that in mind. And in order to actually remind you of that, it changes health to armor. So you basically are taking it against AD matchups anyway. So yeah, that's the trade-off. I have a feeling it's just going to make it so that this item hardly ever gets used, because it's too hard to bank on its effect, but we'll see. Dead Man's Plate, they're just reducing the amount of movement speed it gives. I don't think it's going to change the fact that everybody's still going to use it. Divine Sunderer. So this is an interesting one. I actually really, really like this one. And I have built it into some new builds that I have for Fiora, for Darius, for Lee Sin, for a lot of champions who like to engage and throw off attacks, but don't necessarily rely on attack speed. Because if you look at the stats, attack damage, health, and ability haste, great. That's the same thing as Trinity Force, but there's no attack speed bonus. So now they've changed it so that you have a new Spellblade thing, right? So Trinity Force has a Spellblade passive, and this item, what's it called? Divine Sunderer has a new Spellblade passive. After using an ability, your next basic attack will deal a percentage of the target's maximum health as bonus damage on hit. That's maximum health, not current health. So this is going to be a really good item to use against tanks. With a minimum damage equal to some minimum, with minimum and maximum damages built in. If the target is a champion, you will then heal for a percentage of the target's maximum health. And a minimum heal with also a minimum built in. So basically, Divine Sunderer is a slightly cheaper option to help fighters engage against tanks, especially if the fighter is not reliant on the speed of their basic attacks. So this is probably not going to be an item used by someone like Aurelia or Jax, but it could be very useful for people who just need to get in there and hit and start carving out health from the enemy team while just not getting smashed themselves. So it's not going to be great if you're building a straight up assassin Lee Sin build or any sort of assassin build where the goal is to just get in and do as much damage as fast as you possibly can. But if you're playing a champion who likes to get in and stay in, to me this has Darius and Fiora written all over it. Fimbulwinter. They're changing Fimbulwinter in a way that I'm not sure is going to make it truly effective, but we'll see. They are increasing the ability haste that it grants, which is great. And they're also changing it so that instead of granting you more ability haste based on how much mana you have, it's giving you bonus health based on how much mana you have. This could be very, very interesting for somebody like Dr. Mundo or somebody like Gragas, Tank Gragas. People who actually have big bonuses based on how much health they have. Who also have mana. So this would not be great for Shen, for example. And then when you immobilize or slow an enemy champion, it'll take 3% of your current mana and grant you a shield to absorb damage. Great. So for somebody like Gragas or Dr. Mundo, this is going to give you a lot of health, especially if you stack it with other items that give you extra health and mana. So it'll be very, very useful in AP builds or anti-AP builds if you need one. And very useful for anybody who is trying to tank and needs a lot of health and needs a lot of mana. If you stack this on top of like Sunfire Aegis, you can, because Sunfire Aegis does additional damage based on the amount of health that you have, this could be very, very useful. It could be a lot. It could be very, very powerful, but how powerful, how useful, don't exactly know. It also could be useful on somebody like Aramis, depending on the makeup of the enemy team. But only time will tell, really. I don't know. I don't know all the use cases for Fimbulwinter. It still seems like an item that is going to be used by a very specific pool of champions and not have a lot of utility outside of that. Hextech Mega Drive. They're basically changing this to do what everybody wants it to do. Immobilizing an enemy champion reduces the current cooldown of your active item. The effect will trigger multiple times if in effect hits multiple enemy champions at once. So, if you take Hextech Mega Drive on somebody like somebody who has anybody who has an AoE stun or an AoE knockup, somebody like Alistar, even, yeah, a lot of basically tanks. This is going to help people really engage with those champions because you might be able to, there might be new builds. Let's say, for example, you want to, what would be a good example? Okay, so you have your, what is it? The spell, the boot spell that gives you extra health. I can't remember what it is, but the one that looks like a breastplate, right? You use that, you engage in a team fight, you slow the whole enemy team, and after 3 seconds has gone by and you lose all of that extra health, it's possible that maybe you can reuse that item within another couple of seconds if you can get enough slow and immobilizes off. So you can get that extra health twice. Perhaps you want to dash into the enemy team using the Proto Belt and then slow them all. Maybe you dash into the enemy team, you use your slow, you fart around for a little bit, and you can dash again because it is already off cooldown, right? And get a couple dashes in a row. I'll be interested to see who actually can make the most use of Hextech Mega Drive. Obviously, if your champion doesn't have any slows, then it doesn't do anything. But I think it might become useful. We'll just see how useful in a second. Hull Breaker. Basically, they're trying to make split pushing a viable strategy. So, what does it do? It gives you attack damage and health. Fine, whatever. But the unique passive Boarding Party, this is what's making it all special. When you are by yourself, you gain armor and magic resistance, and nearby siege minions also gain armor and magic resistance and deal more damage to structures. If people come to you, then all those bonuses, if people come to you, then all those bonuses go away. Basically, it just makes it so that if you want to play in the Baron lane by yourself for longer, now you can do that. I still think the rest of your team is going to hate you for doing that because the map is too small for that to really be fun. For your team is over here doing 5-on-4 and like constantly losing, but you're over there winning the game all by yourself. So like, how grateful, how fun for us that we get to constantly lose and die over and over and over again just to watch you win the game for us. So like, I'm not a big fan of the split push for that reason, because it basically requires that the rest of your team just sacrifice themselves for 20 straight minutes while you win the game. But it is a strategy, and they're trying to make it a more viable one. Okay, Solari Chargeblade. Solari Chargeblade, the changes to Solari Chargeblade are actually a lot easier to understand than a lot of people have been making them out to be, but it is, I think, overall a nerf to the item. Essentially now, using an ability gathers radiance up to 3 charges, which is what it did before, but you no longer get increased critical strike while you have radiance charges. The biggest strength of the Solari Chargeblade was that it was a single item that could give you up to 50% critical strike. They found out that really sucks, especially for champions like Yasuo, who are going to need to get 2 items now to have 100% crit rate instead of just a single one, which is what they could do before. However, in order to make it a little bit stronger, they're increasing the amount of magic damage that the item does on its base, but reducing the fact that it increases that damage depending on the target's missing health. So essentially they're just simplifying Solari Chargeblade. It will still give you the attack speed, it will still give you 25% critical strike, and it will still give you the ability haste. What they're changing about it is now using an ability grants you a charge, and then you can expend one of those charges to deal 33 to 75 bonus magic damage. That's it. So this is going to still be very, very useful for champions that rely on a lot of basic attacks and flashy abilities to get those 3 charges. It might be useful on someone like a Jax or an Aurelia, who's going to basically just stack up all those attacks, because now each attack will have more damage attached to it than it used to, and we're not really counting on the extra critical strike for those champions anyway. So that's kind of where that goes. Overall, I think it means the item's going to get used less. I have a feeling, watch for the next couple patches, this is likely to get changed again. Stormrazer. Stormrazer is a little bit more expensive now, but they're also increasing the amount of damage that it adds by 15. So now it adds 40 attack damage plus 25 critical strike and 20 attack speed. I think this puts Stormrazer in arguably a very good place, especially for energized builds, but we'll see if it really makes a difference for all the people who really like to stack energized builds. So for people like Tristana or Ashe, who can sometimes do energized builds, I think that this is going to make them a lot more powerful. The extra 200 gold I think is definitely worth it for 15 extra attack damage, but we'll see. We'll see, really. Yumu's Ghostblade, they are lowering the amount of bonus move speed that it gives you. Fine, whatever. It's not going to prevent anybody from taking it. It's just going to make the item itself a little bit less powerful, but people who are taking it are still going to keep taking it because move speed is OP in this game. Summoner spells. Okay. Exhaust. Basically, they are buffing Exhaust. It used to give you a 20% flat move speed slow over the duration of the spell. Now it starts at 60% and then decays over the duration, which basically you're using Exhaust to... Overall, it's a giant buff for Exhaust. The reason for using Exhaust is either to prevent people's initial power from their engage so that you have time to turn it around or escape, or prevent people from running away, which you typically only need if you just need to catch up to them for a couple more hits or get away from them for a couple of steps anyway. So the beginning part of Exhaust is where you see the biggest power in the spell anyway. So this is just basically, as far as I'm concerned, this is really just a 40% buff to exhaust, which is huge. Heal. They're changing heal so that the effect of heal is increased by 100% on the most wounded nearby ally champion. They also are removing, or they are reducing the base heal, the base movement speed increase, and increasing the cooldown. So be able to use it a little bit less often, but it'll have more impact when you do. And they're making it more of a support item. There are a lot of ADCs that were running a heal. I don't really know why, but they were doing it. Now, this makes it so that you could heal for, say, 242, but your lowest health ally could heal for 480 damage at top level. That's huge. That's huge. Overall, I would consider it a buff because most people are using it for the heal effect, not for the movement speed anyway. But now this heals for so much life that this could be the difference between you guys running away and you guys getting back into a fight. So there you go there. Ignite. They are basically reducing the damage that it does in the late game so that it does a little bit more damage up front, but has less usefulness in the late game. I don't really know why. They say that it's stronger compared to other summoner spells. It's not because of the amount of damage that it does. It's because of just the fact that it does damage. So I don't see this as a big change. It's going to change how many people take it or not. But there you go. Smite. They are under the impression that champions who deal most of their damage from auto attacks, like Jax or Tryndamere, have an easier time clearing through the jungle. I mean, they do, right? They're not just under that impression. Those champions do have an easier time clearing through the jungle. And they don't like that. So they are... Smite will now increase the damage of your abilities against monsters in the jungle, but not your regular attacks. So Morgana, relative to other champions clearing the jungle, is going to be even faster than she was before. The total amount of time it takes her to clear the jungle is going to be the same, but relative to the clear speed of other champions, she's going to be even faster at clearing the jungle than she was before. Similar to basically anybody who uses their abilities to clear the jungle, like Rammus, right? Uses his abilities now to clear the jungle. The way that they improved those. But every other jungler is taking a big hit. And I think this is to come into play. Yeah, Aurelia too. I think that this is to coincide with... I think this is to coincide with the fact that they are increasing the amount of time before the first dragons spawn as well, and changing what the dragons do. I think they want to help people in lane sort of have time in lane to express themselves. I mean, you guys have played so many games with Lee Sin where 30 seconds into the game, Lee Sin shows up and kills you, and you're like, I've seen one minion wave so far, and Lee Sin's already killing people. So I think this is designed kind of to help with that, more so than even reducing the clear speed of champions who rely on auto attacks. I think it's mostly to coincide with the rest of the changes they're making. And then they have this other thing where they're increasing the debuff on you from 5 to 6 minutes so that you don't go around and clear lanes. I don't really know. I haven't really heard of anyone who actually does that. I guess people do that, otherwise they wouldn't have written it, but I don't really know anybody who does that. And then they are changing some of what the dragon buffs do. Basically, they're nerfing all of the dragon buffs a little bit, right? Mountain Dragon goes from a 6% gain to a 5% gain. Cloud Dragon, I don't even know why they put it in here because they're getting rid of the Cloud Dragon. Ocean Dragon goes from 8 physical vamp to 7. Infernal goes from 6 to 5. You're not even going to feel these. I don't even know why they did it at all. Elemental Dragon is getting buffed, which is mind-boggling to me because it seems like they are... basically they're making the Elder Dragon a more important objective than it already was. But it was already like the most important objective on the screen. And it seems to me like they are deciding once you have gotten the Elder Dragon, that should just be the end of the game. So to me, the biggest change here is they're just going to increase the amount of games that are surrendered. Basically, they're saying, okay, so the enemy team got some dragons, but they're not going to have as much of a benefit as they did before. But the amount that we're reducing that benefit by is so low that you're not even really going to be able to tell anyway, so that's irrelevant. But then the Elder Dragon is getting such a huge buff that if you already have 1 dragon or 2 dragons and then you get the Elder Dragon buff, they're basically just saying the enemy team should just surrender because that's how we're designing it. This is supposed to be a game-ending buff now, so the team that gets it should just win. And you're like, well, if they're just going to win after they get it, then why would I keep playing after they get it? Like, you're designing the game so that you want me to surrender once the enemy team has gotten the Elder Dragon. I don't get it. I don't think I think this is the wrong change to make for the Elder Dragon if they want the late game to be more entertaining. Baron Nasher, I do like the changes they're creating to Baron Nasher. They're increasing his health by 800, which, if you are the type of champion who could originally solo Baron Nasher, this is not relevant because it's the mechanics that allow you to regain your health while dealing damage, if you can deal enough damage to regain your health while fighting Baron Nasher, that make it possible for you to solo him. So this extra 800 damage means it's just going to take an extra maybe 1 second for you to clear Baron Nasher by yourself. However, they're making some other changes here. Players that take more than 1 shot of acid take 70% damage after the first shot, so that it's easier for multiple people to take Baron because there's going to be less damage going out to your team, but more damage coming to a solo person. And then they're increasing the amount of damage that Magic Pool and Tentacle Knockup will deal. Basically, they want to remove the ability for a single player, looking at you, Master Yi, or Rengar. They are trying to remove the ability for a single character to take Baron Nasher. Not completely. I still think those champions, especially on full build, will be able to do it. But they might not be able to do it at 4 items anymore, like some of them could. And additionally, they're trying to make it so that you really need to get at least a few team members around in order to guarantee that you can take the Baron safely. I think that's a pretty good change. I think given how strong Baron Nasher is, it really shouldn't be takeable by a single champion, especially since it gives such a huge buff to everyone on your team, even if they're not there. I think that this is a smart change. I think that this Elder Dragon change is really, really dumb. The experience catch-up thing, no one's really going to feel the difference. Not going to worry about that. Turret gold. Let's talk about this really, really quickly. So basically what they're saying is taking a turret is still obviously something that you should aspire to do because it's the only way to win the game. Taking a turret will now give you more gold, but it'll give your team less gold. So getting behind on turrets is no longer this huge, well, it's no longer as big a gold shift as it used to be. Now, the amount that it's changing is relatively low, even though it looks big, right? 25%. But that 25 gold is going to the person who takes the turret. So, for example, you take a turret in the Baron lane. Great. You get, say it's the outer turret. You get 175 gold, and the rest of your team all gets 75. It used to be that you got 150, and the rest of your team got 100. So basically what they're saying is, good job to you for taking a turret. And okay, rest of the team, he took a turret, so you get a little bit of a benefit. But since you weren't really part of it, you shouldn't get as much benefit as you did before, because let's say you're losing that match down there. We don't want this like giant swing to take place anymore, where all of a sudden in your duo lane you've got an extra 50 gold, right, 25 per person, than you had before. But then again, an extra 50 gold isn't really a big difference. So I don't think this is going to make a big difference. Taking the first turret and the extra gold that comes from that is a much bigger deal than all the subsequent turrets anyway, so I don't really think you're going to feel this. Extra bits, nobody cares about those. Free to play champion rotation, there it is. And that's all we got. So let's go back to our game now, please and thank you. And let's continue on with some of these new builds. So like I said, I don't see a new version of the game anywhere for this Elemental Rift. I don't know when they're planning on releasing it, but it is currently not here. So we're going to go right back into PvP mode, into the jungle more, and continue to play new things. Offers. Featured offers. Ooh, wild pass details. I don't really need this or want this. I think, do I have something here? No? I don't know. So, we're going to play one of our champions on whom we are going to be using the... Was it Hullbreaker? What was the item that I changed? I think it was on Ardarius that I put it on. Yeah. So I've created this new Ardarius build. You can move faster, deal a fair bit of damage from the extra Yumu's Ghostblade in here, go straight into Black Cleaver, into Spirit Visage, and then we add in Divine Sunderer, that's what it's called, which will enable us to deal more damage and heal for more damage than we're already healing for. Don't know if it's going to be any good, but we'll see. Also, Boses, yes, Teemo might have a very, very, very strong, well, actually, Teemo's power doesn't come from, I guess he could, but does Teemo stack attack damage? Is that a thing? Is that a style for Teemo? Boses, if you're still there, let me know. And also, did Diana need a buff, Boses? Okay. So we'll start here. And see where we go, my lovely. Set. Shen, Twisted Fate, Jinx, and Karma. Karma has the stun. Twisted Fate has the stun. Shen scales AP, but is really more of an engage. He's doing Shen in the jungle. Shen is so slow in the jungle. I did it earlier today. But there's no doubt in my mind that there will be some Shen jungle builds coming out. And Shen moving up to Set in that Baron lane, that's going to be a pain. Okay. Twisted Fate, Set, they're all running around over there. He takes some damage, but it doesn't really matter. Okay.
First blood. Ally slain.
We kind of saw that one coming, didn't we? And now he's saying that somebody should come up and attack him. There's nobody there, dude. What are you doing? All right. Come right over here to these guys.
My destiny.
Yeah, I have noticed that the jungle clear speed is much slower, since you can't rely on your attacks as much. So look at this, it's taking me an entire minute. And I think then, if this is how this is going to be, I think that there's going to be a lot more... Yeah. The more that I think about this, the more I think Morgana is going to be super OP in the jungle now. because her clear speed relative to the other champions is so much higher. What a huge deal. Can we? All right, there Karma goes. That what's her name got very lucky. Yeah, so now we're like a minute 45 into the first Scuttle Crab. This is crazy.
I have my orders.
I think full red clears are going to be a much bigger deal. They have absolutely nerfed the clear speed of several champions. Let's see if we can and oh, no way.
You have slain an enemy.
And there it goes.
You have slain an enemy.
So we'll just come around here. Take that cash money. And what do I need? 2,500? Before Dragon comes? Oh yeah, we're gonna be able to get it now, fools. Look at that. Oh, getting to level 5 right when we needed to. Fan-glorious. I'm a fan. That's 2,500. We'll get our Yumu's Ghostblade a full minute early.
Noxus will rise.
So yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest change. What is a huge deal? I just got back. Teemo. Yeah, whether or not that what you said about Teemo is actually a thing, is AD damage on Teemo actually a thing?
You are on a killing spree.
Was my question.
I do not tolerate
I'm gonna grab this red buff before the dragon comes.
with overwhelming force.
We've already lost the first turret. That's no good. I didn't realize our Shen was doing quite so badly. That's really, really embarrassing, bro. There that goes. Okay. Deal a little bit more damage there. I don't think you want this, Shen. Whoa, whoa. There it is. There's the shutdown.
Slain. Shut down.
There's the shutdown they were looking for. Now, I want... I think I actually still want blue boots. But because we have Yumu's Ghostblade, we'll build out to those in a minute.
Never retreat.
They kill me right before the dragon comes out. Attack there, attack there.
Dragon. Attack the dragon. Ally slain.
Get him pushed out, get him pushed out.
Ally slain. Enemy slain. Enemy killing spree. We have slain an enemy.
Whoa!
Enemy rampage.
Oh, I forgot their set was so OP already. That's my bad, that's my bad. Karma. Pushing out our Karma. Uh-oh. Oh, bad news for their Karma.
Killing
Noxus
spree.
rise.
Yes, now let's group up down here.
Bottom turret is under attack.
I'm coming in on Jin. Oh, Jin boy. Oh, Jinny girl.
Strength above all. With overwhelming
Good night, Jinxie.
witness
Okay, we do it slightly wrong so we don't get the reset.
retreat.
Alright, let's attack here.
Attack the dragon.
Alright, we don't have that movement speed.
Regret opposing.
We don't have our ultimate. Okay, we get a little heal there. Ah, no dice there. They get the stun out. She gets a slow.
Top turret is under attack.
Can we try and clear this before the enemy Set takes over our game? Answer there, no, because Set has already taken over our game. 720 is what we're looking for here. Go get him. Go get him. Ah, jumped onto the wrong guy.
Enemy is unstoppable.
We need, what, another 900? Okay, before we get the Black Cleaver. There goes Shen in under the turret. He's going to die. Set over here at level 10, taking our turrets. As the enemy is forced to move back a little here. Alright, we see that they are not following through on that. Uh-oh, uh-oh. But there goes Karma. Running away. Can we steal a Scuttle Crab? Alright, we do this. We move along up here to the top. Set those down. Let's see if we can come in. Shen said he wanted to play. Let's see if we can knock this off. Boo. I didn't have my ultimate ready when I needed it to be. Okay, there he goes. Can we simply run away?
Shut down. Shut down.
And we get shut down there. Boots. So now we'll swap to our blue boots. Unfortunately, this build on Ardarius, Shen's global ultimate is better than Twisted Fate. Is his ultimate global? Can he actually go to any champion on the whole map from anywhere? Because that is pretty strong. Not gonna lie. Do they have anti-heal? They currently do not. Okay. She runs away. So we'll come up in the mid here to try and help out with this situation. Alright, everybody be careful over there. Enemy team pushes in. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay, getting shut down again there. Get the blue boots. We'll go for the proto belt next. We're taking a mix of damages here. And what's it going to be? Boop-a-doop-a-doop, boop-boop-boop-boop-doop. Alright, Jinx takes, or not Jinx takes. Yeah, Teemo takes. Come back in here, set 6 and 1. Our Karma is 7 and 1. Wow. Okay, Karma, you do your comic thing. Get a proto belt. This will help us with literally everything we're trying to do here. Spirit Visage 2900. So what we're going for next.
Double kill.
Yes.
Unstoppable. Dominating.
Okay. Take in. Now we're coming this way. We had both of our charges here. They can keep set off the dragon long enough. Great, we take this down. Set moves on. Ooh, good thing I got away from him, because he was gonna kill me, most likely. Didn't have the ultimate ready.
Middle turret is under attack.
Alright, now here comes Twisty Boy. There comes Karma. We're not just going to sit around and do nothing here. Okay, Twisted Fate has used his ultimate. And now we have Karma here by herself. And she's gone. Janna pushing up here. Whoa, hello. Oh, now I'm seeing the power of that ultimate. Now I'm seeing the power of that ultimate. He can show up anywhere. Ah, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. From your nexus to their nexus, I tested it in practice. Holy crap, Bozos, are you serious? That's amazing. So I'm gonna have to get used to seeing. So for a while, I think Shen is going to feel a bit OP, especially because I think people are going to learn to use him before people learn to play against him, which is pretty much always the case when new champions come out. So for example, I don't know what I'm listening for or looking for when Shen casts his ultimate. I just realized there was like some sort of swirl that I was hearing, like a that I don't remember hearing before, that must be his ultimate going off. And that is going to have to be something that we basically train ourselves to listen for, just like anything else.
Godlike.
Who's godlike? Our Teemo? Is our Teemo godlike? Could be. Here's Karma. Alright, Karma's down. Alright, miss there. Here comes Set. Man, they better be thankful they have their Set. Okay, we get that heal there.
Legendary.
Ah, just barely not on cooldown. Barely on cooldown, I mean.
Enemy turret.
I need to go back and grab that next item. Come on, get him. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, that should have been so close. But no dice there. No dice there at all. And he manages to survive. And I cry myself to sleep. I need to go shopping, fools. Okay, there goes him. We have no health, but the enemy team is missing everybody. So we're gonna do this. This is gonna be kind of a slow one because we have to watch our mana. Grab the heals. Shen is here to help us out with the clear. Alright, we get it. And now we go bye-bye. Grab a little of this action. Now we'll grab our Sheeny item.
Stay alert.
1,400 more for the Divine Sunderer. I wonder if I should take Divine Sunderer second, actually. probably, since I don't have to worry about... Since it's true damage that I'm dealing all the time anyway, I'm not worried about the... And it makes it easier to get the item because it's a 3-item item. Yeah, I think I changed the order. It is more expensive than Black Cleaver, though.
On my way.
Okay. Twisted Fate comes in on Teemo. The whole enemy team comes in on me. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Ah. Boo damage there. Oh! Oh, Twisted Fate. Oh, Twisted Fate, you got so lucky. So lucky. Yeah, I think Divine Sunderer first. After using an ability, your next attack will deal 10% of the target's maximum health. If the target is a champion, you also heal. Yeah, I think that's the way to go, buddies. I think that's the way to go. For Darius and Fiora, I think this item is going to be a must. I'm feeling like this item's going to be a must for both Darius and Fiora.
Enemy turret destroyed.
Okay.
Noxus will rise.
Oh, can we group up on set? If we can group up on set.
Attack this champion.
Okay, Twisted Fate has me pretty shut down here.
Double kill. Enemy slain. Shut down.
Yes. Oh, Set runs into the middle by himself. And we said, dude, what are you doing in the middle by yourself, bro? That's a terrible place for you to be. Don't you know we're all gonna kill you? Oh, come on. Okay, what is healing Set so much? I guess it's just his healing. I think it's all of these things combined that are giving him all of those obnoxious heal sausages. Maybe we move the Spirit Visage to actually be the final item. Maybe that's just what we do.
Rampage.
We also need to make sure that we are keeping our eyes on this. Yeah, Set is the whole enemy team. Without Set, they have no team. There goes their Set. Now I can come back here. We lose another turret. Enemy super minions have spawned once again.
Enemy turret destroyed. Nexus is under attack. Shut down.
I mean, we're gonna lose now, but they got the minions on us. Okay. It's taking forever to clear this guy. Okay, there we go. Major big time. There comes Set. Whoa! Okay, how much damage did that do? Haymaker! 1,000 damage! Haymaker, 1,000 damage! What the hell is that? We are full built though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Now, if we can take that middle inhibi turret, we'll be in a good place. We should be able to take it, at least while Set is too busy over there. Come on, Teemo. There it is. There it is. So, okay, first thing I'm seeing is that we need to be able to tell when Shen is arriving, I think. And currently it isn't clear enough when he's coming. So he gets to show up sort of, I mean, like Twisted Fate has an announcement, right? That he's coming. You can see the thing on the ground. Shen should have something comparable. Otherwise, what are we doing? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we have a red buff up here? I see a Set. Okay. So yeah, Set just does an extraordinary amount of damage. And without him on the enemy team, they would have died so fast. The only reason why they didn't was because of him. Okay. I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts. Before we play again, let's come into Ardarius. Now, here's what I want to show you guys from before, right? Death Stance. Cauterize remain... Champion takedowns cleanse Cauterize's remaining damage pool and restore 2% of your maximum health over 15 seconds. See that? 2%. That's crap. If it is actually 15%, like, that would be huge. Because I think that they swapped it. I think it's supposed to be that it restores 15% of your max health over 2 seconds, not 2% of your max health over 15 seconds, which makes a very, very big difference. So the fact that that ain't right, ain't right. And if it were, then we could swap things around like all sort of crazy. But being able to move around the board, I still think is probably the most important thing here. I think, what if we actually just swap these around like this? What if we do that instead, since we're not actually worried about the armor on the enemy team? Oh, and actually, that actually raises... Okay. Dealing physical damage reduces their armor. It also grants you move speed. So would you get rid of Black Cleaver for Death Stance instead? You lose the health, you gain the armor. You take the damage, but then you heal if you get those kills. I guess it's worth trying, isn't it? But only if the team has a lot of AD, because if the team has a lot of AP, then this isn't going to really help you all that much. There's always going to be some AD. So if actually Death Dance might work really well on a team with very little AD too, because then you'll take very little damage from the Cauterize effect, but you'll heal a lot from the Dance effect. I don't know, sir. I don't know. I think what we need to do is test this. This is what we need to do. Get out of the lobby then and go in and test this. So there should be a... Alright, give me all the money
Welcome to Wild Rift.
so that I can test out Cauterize here. Where's Death Stance? There it is. That's all I need.
Minions have spawned.
Make no mistakes.
Now this is Champion Takedowns, Cleanse, Cauterize. A percentage of the physical damage received is dealt to me. Okay, so I should be able to see that. Just deal me some damage. Okay. No. I don't see a buff or a debuff indicating that I am in fact taking the damage that I expect to be taking here. So that's one thing.
Death by my hand.
I need to see the damage, sir.
Destination is clear.
And I need to be able to get a kill in order to do it. Ah, boo.
I have my orders.
Alright, so we need to get a kill here in order to see this. So we're going to come back. We're going to give ourselves a whole bunch of money and level us up all the way. So that I can absolutely smurf on this guy. On this
Make no
guy that I'm against here. We want to see what happens if we can see sort of a debuff on our list, or a buff on our list. We should be able to go in and catch him from the back.
Middle turret is under attack. Blood.
Okay.
You have slain an
I
enemy.
don't see anything, but then it's possible that I also just hadn't taken any damage. So let's wait for him to come back. Let's wait for him to deal some damage to us.
Noxus will rise.
And then kill him. So we need him to push up under our turret a little bit here. What I'm looking for is whether or not I can see a debuff, and if I can, whether or not it lasts for 2 seconds or 15 seconds. So he pushes up here. Nothing? There, deal me some damage. Cauterize.
Slain an enemy. Ace.
Okay, I can see the Cauterize debuff. No, that was Divine Sunderer. Not Death Stance. So I didn't see anything from Death Stance. Let's see if we, let's level him up. Give him all the cash monies. So what does my build actually look like right now? I've got all of these things. That's fine, whatever. So now,
Middle turret is under attack.
I should be taking some serious damage.
You are on a killing spree.
And then that all goes away and heals me, but I don't see any buffs or debuff. Don't see any buff or debuff.
My destination is clear.
So, Death Stance, is the tooltip right, or are the patch notes right? That is going to make a very large difference in how useful this item is. I think they just swapped the numbers. I think it's supposed to heal you for 15% over 2 seconds, not 2% over 15 seconds, because that's functionally useless. So, who knows? Boza says try the Shen ult. Alright, we're going to do that real fast. So, in order to test this, I guess I'll have to, like, put a target dummy all the way on the other side of the map, yeah?
Welcome to Wild Rift.
And then I'll just give myself an item that increases my move speed so that I can run over there faster.
Minions have spawned.
Okay. Now we want the ultimate. So I'm going to need an ally dummy. Like all the way up in the enemy's base, right?
Our wills align.
Okay, so I'll just put it here just to test. Now let's see how this actually works.
Turret is under attack.
Immediately.
Whoa! Oh my god! Are you serious? Wow! Oh my god, that's so strong. Wow, that is so strong.
Turret is under attack. Blood. You have
That's
slain
so
your
strong, dude. Oh right, you can just put on invincibility. I forgot about that. That's insanely strong. So the big idea of it is you can save one of your champions that's about to die and then teleport to them, right? Like that's really what it does. And then if you're on the right side of the enemy champion, you can summon your weapon all the way over to you. My goodness, that's pretty strong. Okay, let's go back into PvP here. We made a switcheroo to Ardarius here. Now Fiora, I can show you guys. Here's what I've changed on Fiora. So the very first item that I have running is Divine Sunderer. I'm very, very interested to see how she does under these circumstances. And after this will probably be our final game for the day. I do have work that I have to get done, and then I have another meeting with more agents later tonight. So wish me luck, boils and ghouls, as we go for it here. I'll tell you what, if they're both available, if Fiora and Ardarius are both available for us to play, which one do you want to see? Do you want to see a second Ardarius game, or do you want to see a Fiora game? That's what I've got curious on for you. Look at my fingers, they look weird. You don't know how good Shen's damage is. He's listed as a tank support. Yeah, his damage sucks, is the answer, Moses. I was working with him all day this morning in like practice mode against enemy champions. He is definitely a tank support. He does extra damage with his first ability, but it sucks. And I have a feeling that people are just going to straight up just go all out health on this guy. Okay. Alright, we'll do our Fiora thing, see how this works.
I long for a worthy opponent.
With the new bit of damage. Ooh, I just thought. Full energized Ashe with Yumu's Ghost Blade. That's a build we gotta try. Not Yumu's Ghost Blade. Full energized with Solari Chargeblade Ashe. So like all of her extra damage is coming from the bonus effects of all of her items. That could be a lot. She'd attack so fast. Her slow would be extraordinary. She'd be squishy as hell. But I wonder how much damage she would actually do.
Welcome to Wild Rift.
Really? That's the first? That's not going to work for me as a first item. Because that is going to slow down our clear speed in the jungle too much. So now we can pre-order the Divine Sunderer. But the fact that the Divine Sunderer doesn't start with any attack item is weird. I mean, it adds AD. What's the build path for this thing? Oh, got it. 20. Okay. So, we take an item that we know we're going to eventually need to have. Oh, yeah. So, we're going to go the other way instead then, since they've totally nerfed the cross jungle clear. Okay. Yeah, that change That smite change is huge, guys. Oh my god, it's so huge. Take it from a jungler. It takes forever to clear the jungle now.
Sharp blade, sharp mind.
Where did Master Yi go?
I have no equal.
Alright, we can chase Master Yi away.
In the blink.
Ooh, she's not gonna like that.
First blood. You
Master Yi, I don't think you want any either.
You have slain an enemy.
Ho ho!
Enemy slain.
Come right on back through and snag that one.
Turret is under attack.
In the blink.
They came at me one-on-one while they had less health than me. Why would you do that? Master Yi coming through. I mean, I don't have anything to help you out, though, right now.
Killing spree.
Vayne coming up, too. Not a good look for you, buddy.
Is this supposed to be a challenge?
Alright, well, then we'll rotate around here. Yeah, they have massively nerfed the clear speed in the jungle, which I guess was their plan, but wow. Morgana is gonna be so OP now. It's crazy.
Try again.
Okay, grab a Sheen. Ooh, I should have grabbed a different item, but I didn't. Come back in and just keep the clearing. This is also, I think, going to make Lee Sin even more OP, actually, since he doesn't rely on his jungle clear early in the game anyway. So it's going to seriously nerf all of the jungle clear requiring champs. But everybody else is just going to get, like, a passive buff by comparison. So I'm not sure that's going to do what they really hope that it does. I mean, these jungle power clears, they're still going to be jungle power clears. I don't really understand. Yeah, it's just going to make other people stronger by comparison, which seems to be not what they're going for. Unless they just like the fact that Morgana is a total beast.
Sharp blade, sharp mind.
Ally slain.
Okay. Alright, so he's under the jungle. Come on. There goes Shen.
On my way.
There goes Shen bringing it in.
Try again.
Alright, we're coming in here. Coming in here, we're coming in hot.
I never hold back.
First item, this is gonna make us a little slower, like literal, like physical walking speed slower, not farm speed slower. Although it might also do that. Whoa, whoa.
Sharp blade,
Lucian getting picked.
sharp mind.
Ally slain.
Prepare to die.
Alright, so I wasted my ultimate. That was pretty dumb, but we got the kill,
Attack
which means we can attack the dragon now. Because I should be able to heal up from that a little bit. And now we have the Divine Sunderer ready. And this dragon looks like it's going to be ours. As he comes in to try and claim it, but I say, no, no, sir, it's mine.
Precision.
Now, Master Yi, Katarina, Vayne, Karma, physical attacks, blue boots. I think neither. We'll go ahead and go for the lifesteal boots. Alrighty, I'm heading up this way.
On my way.
So now that we've got this little beefy mode,
Sharp blade,
let's see how she plays.
sharp mind.
Let's make this kitten purr.
Enemy slain.
Yes, attack this guy. Oh, we're all here.
The Rift Herald.
Let's attack that goose. Attack the goose!
In the blink of an eye.
All right.
Slain the
Snailed it. Oh, here comes Vayne in the middle. All right, we say we don't know what she's thinking, so we exude. We get some botas. Come right back in. We're gonna build the Blade of the Ruined King, and then we'll get our Proto Belt. Early 80 heroes like Lee and Olaf, and AP heroes Nunu, Evelyn, Morgana will be the meta. Yeah, the heroes that don't rely on jungle clear, I think AP heroes are going to be huge. Evelyn, oh my gosh, Evelyn is going to clear so fast in relation to them. Evelyn, who already struggles early, is going to struggle less by comparison, but that means she's going to get to her level 5 faster, which means she's going to suck sooner.
retreat from the enemy champion.
She's going to suck harder sooner. To play against, I mean. She's going to be super powerful.
Ally slain.
And
Double kill.
go ahead and take the first turret. Thank you.
First turret destroyed.
Now I'm going to come down this way.
Allied ways under attack.
We got a,
Enemy turret destroyed.
whoop. Oh, they saw it was coming, so they retreat. Probably for the best to them. So we'll do a little back in here. Lean back. Lean back. Lean back. Lean back. Right? There's a song that goes something like that. It's a hip-hop song that I don't know because of those kids nowadays. I don't listen to hip-hop.
Sharp blade.
Shen, clearing the Scuttle Crab
They will not strike back.
as we rotate through. Looks like he was just letting me get that money. Sure, why not?
Slain.
In the blink of an eye. Prepare to die.
Okay, we've got the balked. Balk. You just get buffs and scuttles, then invade and gank. Yes, actually, that's a very, very good point. That's exactly what people are going to start doing, Leviticus.
Ally slain. Shut down.
Okay, we come over here and good night.
Killing spree.
All right, let's get everybody grouped up here. After we take this turret, give them the turrets.
Enemy turret.
They've got the turrets. So now,
Rampage.
good night. What was her name? Katarina.
Attack the dragon.
Good night, Katarina.
Middle turret is under attack.
Good night, the whole enemy team. I'm owning you with my Fiora face.
Your team has slain the dragon.
Oh my goodness, this is we're just crushing, dude.
Precision and grace.
Now we're building out to Black Cleavity Cleave. Anti-heal. We will need an anti-heal here. I'm just going straight up to this Rifty Dift. We're 19 and 4 on our team. This is a
Enemy slain.
rough game for the enemy team, isn't it? And we take the Rifty Dift. Oh, Lee Sin. Just inting into Brand. Why is the enemy team still playing? They should have surrendered a long time ago, but they didn't. Because they stubborn. Can we take this before he charges? Yes. So now he gets the full charge into the enemy turrets.
At once.
Boom! We get the charge into the turrets. That is, oh my god. I should just talk about if I'm gonna talk like that. Oh, it's terrible. This is what happens when I own the game so hard that I don't even have to start paying attention anymore. I just start saying so much make-believe crap. Alright, take that down. Our black cleavity cleave is ready for us.
Shut down. Enemy double kill.
Okay.
Triple kill.
Katarina with the pop-off. Oh.
Middle turret is under attack.
Now this. Okay, they'll take down those guys. Karma. I think you want to be here. She is in her own world right now. Ooh, I probably could have killed Katarina there, because she was way out of position. There's Karma getting chased out by Lee Sin. Can she run away far enough? I don't think she can. Hello. Katarina gets the shutdown. And by gets the shutdown, I mean she gets shut down. Wow, I am 3 levels higher than the Karma on their team. That's stupid. I am legendary. Thank you for acknowledging it. My mother tells me so all the time. I just want the acknowledgement of the crowd. Master Yi comes through. Enemy team starts to int down toward us. Got the ultimate up. Guys, that's not how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it, guys. Don't worry, I'm 11-3. Enemy team has surrendered at 29-10 as they are unable to take down the Fiora of Doom.
Victory.
Guys, this patch is huge, and we got to keep playing around with things and figuring out all the changes. I think we're going to be playing some big-time Morgana here, since I don't think she got nerfed at all by the smite nerf, and I think that her jungle clear might just be stupid now by comparison to everybody else. So we're gonna keep working around. We're gonna see what this does, but until next time,